Regular village council meeting will now come to order January 25th. All stand for the pledge allegiance to the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please, clerk.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Bullock.
Here.
Baylor.
Here.
Cooper. Here. Belkey. Yes. Here.
Approval of the agenda, what's the council's wishes?
We need to add.
I need to add compressor for the sewer plant.
So sewer plant compressor is item D under new business.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
I've given it to Baylor, or to Conan this time.
That'd be pretty good.
You gotta be quick. That would be Baylor, he's quick.
Hey, you're all rested up from your vacation.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Take a while.
Moved and supported, any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Citizen comments, there's no citizens in our audience tonight. Presentations, we have no presentations tonight. Administrative reports, you have your reports in the...
Chris is on the way. He had to do something at the plant, but just reading this, everything, we had no emergency call outs. I think you've all got the shortened, condensed version. And then we will have the old style book here if you want to look at all the graphs and all the charts and everything. And, that's about it for the report. As you see in new business, we're going to be talking about the compressor down there.
Very good. Anyone else?
I have a parks report this time.
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to say that the Armada Jams concert series the lineup isn't set, but the calendar is set. It's 9 concerts this year. The program starts the week after school gets out, runs through the week before the fair. So this year that's 9 concerts. So it starts June 15th and it'll end on August 10th. The Uncle Sam Jam and Potluck in the Park is going to be on the Wednesday before the Monday holiday, so it's June 29th, which I think will work out good because the holiday's on a Monday, so people probably leave Saturday and go away for the week or whatever. Sponsorship letters will go out again. Usually they go out in March or early April. We send them to all the businesses. We've had so far really great response from people that are signing up year after year after year. So first year they get a banner that's, I don't know what the size of it is, $300, and then if you renew it's $200. Little stake signs are $100, and then we have a little line on the form that says donor, surprise us. So far, it's not overwhelming. There are some repair and replacement things we're going to do in the meantime before the park opens, like the basketball backboard is broken. They've looked online, you should be able to get that for a couple $100. There's a couple windows in the pump house that are broken. I think we can replace the glass. I'm going to paint the pavilion, rework the decorative items. I know that we don't want to invest money in replacing those, but Ross and I are just moving them around every year depending on how many fewer there are this year to make them look like they match. So I think we'll probably just take that off and paint the holes over. I'm going to see if I can clean the graffiti off the floor and then seal the cement floor so that it doesn't, that stuff's not that expensive, but it keeps it looking nice, and we'll be able to just wash it.
Clean the artwork off.
Yes, yes. I wanted to do something about the pump house door because it's kind of, I think it's separating, and it might need a little bit of work. I need to look at that to see exactly what it is, and that needs another coat of paint. I painted that last time it got painted. It doesn't take that long to do that. And the big thing that we wanted to do after watching this for several years, there's not enough parking there. So we thought if we extended the parking on the other side of the sidewalk that goes to the pavilion, that would give us 6 or 7 more spaces. And more importantly, what it would do is it would kind of keep people from parking illegally behind them. There's always the issue of whether or not the safety vehicles can get through.
Right.
And so we have to sometimes have people go and move. But if we have, regular spots there, I think it'll be clearer and a sign that this is the way that we're allowing parking and we're not allowing this parking. So that's the idea to help. And if we could make at least one more handicap spots, because there's always an issue. I know my mom was one. There's just no easy way to get them in and out of the park. They're not close to that sidewalk. Those are the things that I'd kind of like to do this year. And the only other thing that's not Memorial Park, but it's about the gardens, is to publicize that more, the Adopt a Garden program, put it on the website, put something up in the park, do something. If we talked it up a little bit, we'd probably get, it only needs just a little bit more interest in it, and it could work. So we'll see about.
Can I ask for some ideas on the pump house
Sure.
to making it more useful?
Yeah, because we still have it, and because we've invested money in it in the past, I'm assuming this was before my time on the council, that the council has decided that this is something they want to keep. And so if we're going to keep it, then I think we need to keep it in good repair, and if we could devise a use for it, what would be even better? So then it has a purpose. Maybe it can be a concession, place to store concessions, or it doesn't have any utilities to it. There's no water, there's no electricity. It's kind of high up to actually have people go in and
Like
buy
some
your
food.
popcorn from the.
Yeah.
But maybe you could store something in there and then that you bring down into the park, and maybe it's a vehicle for groups to. Who like they do at the high school football things,
Right.
If it's your group's turn to run the hot dog stand, then you get the money that you make that week. That would bring in more people, bring in different kinds of people who don't go.
Right.
It would make it more of a community event, more of a place to be.
It is the place to be. People just need to come and go. It's
Yeah,
it's a great night.
Yeah, the park is.
It is. I love it.
Summer
It
and
is.
It's
Family.
the best thing we've done in that
But
park.
the pump house has just always been sort of neglected and never used, and it's just there. So Sam was talking to me this afternoon about trying to come up with some ideas.
give it a little bit of a purpose, and we could
Can't,
justify taking care of it better if it
Yeah.
has a purpose. It's just sitting there, then it's just sucking up money if it's not giving anything back. So, I mean, that's another reason to, I'm sorry, interrupted you.
Well,
and
it's
that's just,
historic.
it
I mean,
would be
we
hard to put like even a
maintain it.
canopy on it because the building's round.
Right.
So if anybody has any ideas how to add to it, or how to bring something out of it, like Sam said, it doesn't even have a floor. It's sand on the inside.
Right now, it's just kind of a closet for park overflow stuff. I put the buntings in there, and I have a little supply of spray paint I use to paint the rock for the bands, and that goes in there when it's not too cold. And and lately the door has been kind of falling apart, and the lock's really hard to do, so I haven't been in and out a lot.
We should probably take a look at that and put a new door on it somehow.
I'd like to keep the original door.
Yeah,
just
it's such a
kind of
historic.
This might
separate.
need to be
And it's
resupported.
a very large
Yeah.
door. It's very wide.
Drawn
yeah.
in and put some.
It sounds like, Sam, you have a good handle on it, so I have to give
That's
you good
neat.
praise on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 9 concerts about the usual?
It's 9 or 10. The last couple of years have been 10,
Okay,
but before that, the years were 9 and
okay.
whatever. Depending on the way it falls. Last year the fair was late, so we had an extra one.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Now you got a good handle on it, so thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Anyone else? Now we will.
Oh, I guess I just wanted to point out, I'm sorry, Mark, I wanted to point out that under your administrative reports, I just gave you a copy of the letter that came from the Office of the Great Seal, Department of State, about the annexation, that it's all done. It's through the state, so just wanted everybody to know that.
So we'll have more tax money coming in.
Yep, a little bit.
More work ones.
All right, then, general business. The consent agenda, approval of the regular council meeting of January 11th, and a payment of bills. And
We're gonna pull the minutes. Sherry found some errors, so we're gonna pull them.
Pull the minutes,
Get 'em
okay.
fixed. We'll put them as item E. Don't be sorry, that's why I give them to you. Human.
Absolutely.
You wasn't there that day when you did it, was you?
No, I wasn't, no. Oh,
Was there anything we're gonna add to that, Mike?
yes.
Yes, it's, let's see what I do with it. You all have a copy of it there, so. This will be to authorize our attorney to pursue some legal remedies to collect outstanding water account.
We'll just add that as item C.
Yes, as item C, and that's
Upcoming agenda?
No, it's on consent.
on consent. Item C,
Pursue water remedies.
water remedies to collect outstanding delinquent water accounts.
Mr. President, I'll move that the consent agenda be accepted as amended. A second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I abstain from the water, but I say I'm
Right,
okay the
okay.
rest.
You will mark that
Yep.
down there,
Yeah.
Michelle,
I'm
please.
trying to get my,
Sherry
Bearings
does
here.
abstain.
okay, so as amended, I'm sorry, who motioned and who seconded it?
Ballard.
Valerie and Shaw.
Who abstains from item C?
Yes.
Please. Thank you.
Old business, East Main Street project, prospect. Mr. Ballard, it's your department.
Mr. President
Comments?
and Council, the East Main Street project, there's no new developments on that. The T Street Bridge project, there was an email from Lowell that indicated there was a driveway issue down by the bridge, and this is going to be corrected. After the weather breaks and the asphalt mills open in the spring, I do have an email to that effect through Michelle. So that's all taken care of.
So it's after the snow, you said?
Well, after the asphalt,
Oh, after it,
yeah. after the
Well,
asphalt.
it'd be towards spring because of the weather.
Right.
right.
What's
So-
open on the East Main project?
Basically, there's some seeding that has to be done on the East Main Street project, and that's about it.
A couple of mailboxes.
Oh, 2 mailboxes, that's right.
Two mailboxes and some grass seeding? and-
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
All right, new business, we're gonna go with the DDA budget approval. Item A,
How can, the planning commission hasn't seen it yet? You can't do,
They did it.
no, they didn't,
Well, then why did I have it on my desk?
because they gave you a copy of it.
Oh, well, then I guess we're pulling that.
Hang on, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, sorry. Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
done. I thought it went through them and, because it was right after a meeting.
item A, we will be pulling.
All right. That's okay. I thought Becky gave it to me.
Yeah.
I got ahead of myself.
Yeah.
The next is to set the CDBG public hearing date.
Okay. I am, hold on, I am waiting right here. Every year, well, not every year, we haven't had a public hearing for CDBG since 2014, when they went on the 3-year cycle. We are back to the 1-year cycle now. I guess there's issues with the 3-year cycle. Our portion has greatly decreased. Used to be when we went every year, it was about $33,000, and then at the 3 years, it was 90.
90,000.
Now we're down to 7,500. And,
From
it's,
33,000?
yes.
What are you gonna do with 75,000?
Well, it's very difficult because $5,000 of that, we can, or I'm sorry, $2,500 can be distributed to the nonprofits. That leaves us $5,000. So, there are a few ideas that the county gives us. I've gotta really look into them before I even bring them up. So there's some options that we'll have. but it greatly decreased. And the reason, and there's really not a good reason that I can give you except for that they could never figure out how that formula worked prior to. Well, now they're really looking at the formula, and now it's all changed for us. So there are several communities that went down to 7,500. There are a lot of communities that, they receive a boatload of money, but they're larger and their LMI districts are prominent. We fortunately don't have that.
Yeah,
So,
I think they did it more based on your actual demographics
Yeah,
than a
and-
formula.
yes, so anyways, but we do have to set the public hearing date because we still have to have it. We still are entitled to the money. We still are going to receive it. So my recommendation is to do it February 22nd at 7 PM because that is the last meeting that I can possibly do it at. So that's,
I make a motion to set the public hearing date of February 22nd, 2016 at 7 PM for CDBG distribution.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
Michelle, can we get in touch with the fire department to see if they need any new equipment again?
I can, and I talked to Carrie about that. Things have shaken up at the fire department. There's new
Right. Right.
leadership, there are new people in place, and the people that I dealt with in the past about the equipment
Right,
are no longer there.
okay,
So, I can talk to them.
please.
It, it's not a problem, but, sometimes it's a little harder when you're dealing with that type of situation than with something that the county recommends, one of the things she mentioned to me, and I have to look into it, is, we always say sidewalks, we'd like to do sidewalks. Sidewalks are difficult to do because you have to have an area, but she did say that if there are sidewalks that you want done, and it is in front of an LMI household, that we can waive their portion, because, when we do sidewalks, the resident pays half. We are able to waive their portion, we can pay for that out of CDBG, but the kicker to that is that you have to fill out an income survey. You have to be willing to do that. Me, would be the one saying, yes, they qualify. So it is something that's gonna come in front of, it's a touchy situation, and I know there's, I myself probably wouldn't be comfortable doing that. I know there's probably several people that wouldn't be comfortable doing that, but there may be people that are, because if the sidewalks must be done in front of homes, because there are some spots that need work. Fair Street is awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. I mean, so we might, we could theoretically do maybe 10 houses with this, and pay their portion. So I think that's really a good thing to do. It's just, to encourage the people to understand that, unless the county will do those income surveys, which they used to in the past. It doesn't sound
We've
like,
done them in the
No, we've
past.
done.
Yeah.
but
We've gone.
but you've also had to turn them into the county.
Yes.
Yeah.
The way they had it set up before was you could give out the income surveys and then they would send it to
They
the
would
county.
send them
And
directly.
they would, that way it doesn't come
The local
to
people
me,
don't
your
know.
neighbor,
You're not
so
seeing someone's.
I'm not seeing someone's income.
You wouldn't because their name wasn't on it.
But it's an address, Lyle,
No,
I mean,
it
well,
was
you
not
have
an
to, because
address.
that's the only way that I can give
Nope.
it to them.
It's a plot number.
Well, okay.
That's all.
Well, when we did it, we went to the people in the house and we talked to them. Surprisingly enough, as awkward as it was to ask for that information, people were very
Well, and if it's,
cooperative.
honestly, if it's going to alleviate that cost on the homeowner, I don't see why it would be a problem. I think it's a great idea. But it's also something that she just mentioned, because I mentioned the fire department, I mentioned some things, and she says, you can do that. There's also a rehab program through the county, where people can apply to have work done on their homes. And again, you have to income qualify.
If we could use this money inside this
Well,
village,
for,
as far as I care,
Yeah.
we don't have to
No,
give it
and-
to any nonprofits if we need it here.
well, I don't know that
I
you're
mean,
gonna get $7,500
Well, I
for
know.
that, but.
We
but I-
always have, before, we got a lot more and we
Right.
used it.
Well, and this is, again,
Yeah.
that's just something that she brought up. I haven't, I have not had a chance to really sit and map it out, which I like to do before the public
You
hearing.
don't have to give money to the service project.
You do not, but we have a heck of a lot more than even
But we used
7,500 that
to,
people are asking
do,
for.
what, 25,000 use it.
Well, when you had $90,000, yes, you could do that,
Then
because you
we
give
give
15.
out
Well,
little
we used to
bit
do a
to
lot
side.
more on sidewalks because
Mhm.
the rules were different.
It's, HUD
Things have
is,
changed.
and CDBG is becoming a very scary boat in a river of turbulence, because if we do a project and say HUD decides to audit that project, I mean, HUD auditing you, I'd rather have the IRS in auditing you, I think, because it is so stringent. And if there are errors, you're on the hook for that money. You know, you're on the hook to pay that back as a village. I myself, as a person that kind of directs this stuff, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not. You know, I do things based on the best of my knowledge and the information that I get. It could be wrong. You know? So for
You
me,
always bounce this off the county before you do anything.
I do.
But
But, yeah, sometimes you know, when we were looking at things years ago, it's like, yeah, that's a great project. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, that's sketchy. Every time I go back, it was a different answer. I mean, when you went from a great project to it's sketchy, no, I'm not doing a sketchy project, because I don't want to put the village on the hook for that.
No, that's true, and the thing is, I think right now, like David said, I would tend to agree, and I think all members would too, is I'm gonna address that I think we should keep it here definitely, instead of giving it out to anyone else.
If we can use it. you know.
Well, if you can use it, if we can't use it, then give as much as we can to the nonprofits that are in need. You have to remember those.
We always have.
Yeah, no, we can give up to 2,500. They really took a hit. Those nonprofits took a hit for those 3 years. That was hard. Now that we're going back to a year, it's gonna help them again. But those 3 years
Except that now everybody's money is less.
well, yeah, not everybody's, just some of us.
And there's requirements on how much can go for service. and what
Exactly.
can-
Right, 15%.
That's why,
Right.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, with their, like ours, going from 33,000 to 7,500,
Mhm.
there's a whole lot less. than
Well, when you
we-
went from 33,000 to 90,000, now I'm at 7,500, it's like, are you kidding? What,
Yeah.
you know? But we're everybody's muddling through, including the county. It's kind, we're kind of all working together to try to make sure it goes smoothly. But anyways, that's
Very good.
where we're at.
We have to take a vote.
Yes. Let's see, it's involving some money here, so in other words, let's.
No, just for the public hearing.
Well,
Right.
for public,
Yeah.
okay, we'll do it that way then. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. See, I wanted to make sure you always have it covered.
Yeah. Yeah. CPG is like that.
Excuse me.
What's
The
that?
next is a clerk master academy class.
That's me again.
There might be some questions.
This is the class that I've been attending. This is the Master Academy. This is my last year of Institute. Usually what I do is I pay for it and then I get reimbursed from the village. The reason I'm asking this year for the village to pay it with my registration, and the reason I'm doing that is because I have it in my budget, and which is approved, everything's great, but the class is March 31st, I mean, the March 29th through the 31st. I won't be able to reimburse it out of this year. I could, we could do a budget amendment, we could. I'm just asking this year for the village to consider paying it, and if I do not go, I even put it in the motion that if there's a reason that I cannot go, that I will pay the village back by March 31st.
What is
Didn't I?
council's?
Wait a minute.
Yes, I
It's not in the
saw.
motion, it's in the.
It's in here, so I can put it down, we can add that. So, this is my last year of this, but that does not mean that's the last year of my classes, because in order to stay certified, I have to attend so many hours.
Which you definitely want a certified clerk.
Yeah,
You definitely want that.
coming from somebody who's going through the
Mr.
process.
President, I'll resolve to allow the clerk to attend the MAMC Master Academy from March 29 to 31, 2016. At a cost not to exceed $450 is allowed for in the 2015-2016 approved budget to be paid at the time of registration, and to allow for lodging for a cost not to exceed $150 to be paid out of the 2016-2017 clerk's budget.
With the understanding
With the
that the
understanding
clerk
that
will
if the-
reimburse the village.
With the understanding that if the clerk does not attend this academy, she will reimburse the village.
I'll
March
second.
31.
Does not
Okay.
Kind of supports.
By
attend.
Coleman, support by Coleman.
Okay, I'll go.
I
Um,
support your support.
But does not attend, she will reimburse the village by March 31st. There was no way that I missed in that class. That is my last one, and if I wait, I have to wait 2 more years to go back, so I'm just saying it.
God bless you.
Thank you.
We'll see, yeah. Okay,
That's what she runs.
yeah, well, it depends on if you win or again.
Well,
Okay, so this is gonna be roll call, so.
Right.
Ballard,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Wolak,
yes,
Belkey,
Yes.
Cooper.
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, thank you.
I sort of don't like the 1 day on it because of that, just, she won't be with our presence.
Yeah,
Right,
you're gonna
Steve?
miss me the whole, yeah, you guys are, I won't be with either, I guess.
Trial date.
Believe me, I'm not happy.
Okay, excuse me. Steve, your compressor sewer plant?
Yep, and Chris has made it here, he had a little something to take care of before he came in. Chris can give us an update on the compressor situation as it stands right now.
The compressor, that big compressor down there is the heart of the plant. Everything's ran on air, every air actuators, the dampeners, the vents, everything. 2 Thursdays ago, I came in on Thursday morning and noticed it was running a lot more than normal. So I went in and shut it down. And there is a leak coming from the main building underground somewhere going out. So I shut that valve off. Opened up the oil, checked the oil was smoking, drained the oil, put new oil back in it. That was on the number 1 side. The number 2 side had a bearing that was squeaking really bad, and so we had rehab, electric air compressor people come out, and they took the cap off of the plate off of the compressor, and there was metal in the oil on the number 2 side. And the rod, you could grab the rod and just shake it. It's just wore out. The guy said it's even in his report, it's not from neglect. It's 26 years old. It's just wore out, and they will not rebuild it. And the other side that we're running right now, the rod is also wore out. You can grab it and shake it. And anytime, it could just bend in half, and there would be no more compressor. We bought a cheap, small compressor to backfeed the system to help the big compressor not have to run as much, to try to prolong the life of it until we got our plans figured out on what we were going to do to handle this. I've been dealing with rehab. I have got a few options, and just to let you know, I talked to a couple companies. And Brehab is the distributor for Quincy compressors, kind of the same situation as Flight Pumps. When I told the companies how much they were doing it for, they kind of laughed and said, I'm not even going to give you a quote. So, both sides, compressor heads need to be changed, 1 and 2. That's one option. We can do one of them right now and have one good side, if that is feasible to you. And we're looking at about $4,900 to do that, and that's not to exceed. That is for one to be working correctly.
But then you've got the other one.
You got the other one that will have to be replaced eventually, so we're looking at $9,800 eventually. Whereas a brand new compressor, the same exact one, you can ignore the total number because I talked to the guy and we already have some of the stuff that he had is optional features a brand new one, same compressor, horsepower, everything, would be 13,900.
I think it only makes sense to go with the new one, because the other components on the compressor are that, you know, they're 26 years old, and we will have a 1-year warranty, and you said, what, a 5-year
On a
on the
new one, a
motors?
1-year warranty on everything, and then a 5-year warranty on the actual compressor heads and the motors. The guy that I've been dealing with is gonna come out Thursday, and he's gonna look at everything, just to make sure that it would work. I've taken measurements, like I said, we got 34 inches inside jam to jam. Compressor's 30 inches wide, and the guy knows it, and he says it shouldn't be a problem. I took pictures, explained it to him, so he's gonna come out and look.
And then you were also gonna check, see if they could bring out a compressor while we're doing the switch
He's
over.
got, so we wouldn't have to shut the system down and the plant would still run.
Mhm.
He said he's got a compressor that would do it, why it's getting switched out.
Have a cost on that?
So we might have some, we don't have completely ironed out costs.
For a new one, I don't know.
This is the
It's,
repair.
What was the price with,
Yeah.
I know you got some things you said we can take off, but what was the total with everything on it?
everything on it was $16,900, I think. Nope, $16,019.
Okay.
And then we've got the air cooler, and we've got the control panel with the motor starters already.
And what's the difference in these two quotes, if we went with this one as opposed to this one?
The one that's about 5,000, that is replacing one compressor head. So you got one side of the compressor that's working. The other side will need to be replaced eventually.
So you're
This
almost
is
up
just
to,
replacing the entire unit.
That,
So you got both heads covered.
new tank.
yeah. I'd almost like to go with the original number, not to exceed, and if we back off and save some money, that way we'd be covered.
Yeah, go
Because
high.
Because it seems like we're gonna be a little, few of more incidentals, because you really don't.
Yeah, you're not, you're gonna have.
I don't wanna have to come back to you and ask for another 1,000 or 100
You
or.
want to go with the 16?
Yeah, I was gonna go with,
Sounds right.
yeah. So I will go with the total price of not to exceed of $16,019 for a new compressor with a 1-year warranty and a 5-year warranty on motor and
Hold on,
The
Steve, you're going way too
compressor.
fast.
compressor head.
You're going way too fast here. So to approve it from Rehab, is that who that's coming from, or Quincy?
Yep.
It's Rehab.
Rehab, they are the
Quincy
agent for
distributor.
Quincy.
And Rehab, for a not to exceed amount of
16,000.
$16,019 for, say it one more time, what specifically is that in mind?
That
It's a
is-
brand new compressor, replacing the old.
For replacing, why am I having such a hard time here? To replace, or I guess we could just say to
Replace existing compressor
to
with a
replace
new
existing.
one.
Existing compressor at sewer plant.
It'd be a 1-year warranty.
You want that in the motion to include
Just
the
so we
1-year
have it for
warranty?
backup.
Yeah, and a 5-year warranty for motor and
Compressor.
compressor head. And again, this isn't the way I like to do things, spring this stuff on you guys, but with that being the heart of the plant, if it's not running,
Yep.
we're dumping.
You can have SSO or partial treated.
The 5 years was for the
Compressor heads
compressor head.
and
And
motor.
motors.
And this falls in line with the S2, everything we've worked for the last 4 years on that program.
I'll second.
Now, you will use the replacement fund on this?
We will use the replacement fund on it. And you have 223,000
That's
in there.
installation.
Yes.
Yes. and
Sounds
if-
good to me.
There is
Was that, did you make the motion?
Yes, it did.
Steve and Sherry seconded.
There's support.
Again, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news,
No,
but
it is what
it's
it is.
26 years old, and, I mean, the plants are usually built to last about 20 years, even with the most stringent maintenance plans. And it runs a lot, it runs everything in the plant.
Very good, thanks, Chris.
So that's a-
On a good note, the gutters are up. They look really good. We, F&V has paid the contractor, and they're sending you guys a bill, and it's up to you if you pay it or you wanna put it on our maintenance cap. Speaking of the maintenance cap, a few meetings ago, I said we were about 20%. As of right now, we got $1,500 left, and I believe there's a couple things that aren't on there, so we're gonna be, if the gutters go on, we're gonna be over the maintenance cap right now, just to let you guys know. Wednesday, the EMS is coming out to put on the backflow preventers. We had the effluent sampler, we had that quit working. And Hawk informed me, we ordered parts and it's fixed. A new sampler would be $5,000 to $6,000. Hawk informed me that they no longer make that type of sampler that we have at the plant. And parts will be not being made shortly, just so you guys know. So eventually, gonna have to get new samplers if they break. But we did fix it, and so that saved us a good amount of money by being able to fix it.
Something like that would probably last how long, Chris?
Oh, samplers can, I've seen some of them 30-some years old where I used to work, so.
I like that, that's good.
30 more years is good for us, I guess.
We need to vote.
Yes, right,
Yeah.
yeah, well.
I don't mean to cut you
Any
off, it's
other-
just, let's finish the
No,
vote and
any other
then,
discussion though first?
I don't wanna forget.
No, we won't forget.
That's a roll call.
Yeah, it's spending money, so we're gonna have a roll call on that, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Wallach,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Ballard.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you.
I mean, I don't know if he was done or not, I just
I
don't
just
wanna-
got a couple
Oh, yeah, you had
minor
a motion on the
things.
floor.
I just wanted to let you guys know that we had no exceedances. I turned all the paperwork into the DEQ about doing a winter land application. It's all approved. If Synagro can even get to us. Our biosolids report has been approved. Our exceedances we had in September due to the equipment failure on the reactor pump number 3, that has been looked at and approved by Dennis Ryan, so everything's okay with that. I got the CMMS program up and running. We're printing and completing work orders. Took the skid steer to Larry's Towing and Service and had a complete check done on it. Had the filters changed, the hydraulic fluid, all that stuff. We're making headway. It's just, sorry I have to keep spending all this money, but things keep breaking. But it's coming along. It's looking a lot better, little by little.
Thanks.
Glad to hear that, Chris. Thank you for your report.
Last question, we had talked about setting up a meeting sometime to sit down with my boss. I don't know if that was still in the works or.
Yeah, maybe in a couple weeks or so.
Well, Steve, whatever you wanna do, you make the
Okay.
call and,
We'll talk and then we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Because I had the capital maintenance plan, I've got it sent in for approval, so.
and if you want somebody else to sit in with us, we'll go from there, Steve.
Okay, very good.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
No, you're okay, thank you, so you have a safe trip back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will see you tomorrow, probably, Steve.
Yep.
You guys have a great night.
You too, take care.
Thanks.
Good job.
Come to Jim.
Any up and coming agenda?
No, we have the minutes,
Minutes.
we gotta fix the
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
Have a good night.
You too.
Oh, I seem to forget that. Okay, approval of the minutes.
Under the attendance portion, Jeff
Yes,
Jaworski wasn't listed, so we need to write down that
Yeah,
Jeff Jaworski
I got
was
that one.
in the minutes. Under consent agenda, the payment of bills, the total is $38,694.68. And then also we need to mark on the last page that Mr. Shaw left at 8:03, so he wasn't part of the last two votes on there.
Well, he was, yeah, the last two.
The last two, right?
So I'm gonna mark Shaw as absent under those two.
And that's it.
Is the time next
Yeah, I did. I gotta figure out how to do that because that's done in executive and executive doesn't, I have to ask Jeff how to do that,
That's fine.
but I'll do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just if it wasn't an approval of it, I
Right,
wanted
right.
to make sure that,
Okay.
Yeah, I
If something
just,
goes wrong, you can always say, I wasn't there.
exactly.
We'll give you a
And be-
I like this.
All right. That's it. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Sport.
Moved and supported, any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
And I abstain.
David wasn't here.
Right.
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah, he was on,
Somewhere left.
yeah,
I was doing that report on the Panama Canal for you.
yeah,
I need that reimbursement,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, you missed
pretty expensive.
it. Right. This is your wife's fault,
Of course.
or? Okay, the other one that was pulled is the DDA budget approval.
Yeah, that was
You
pulled
need to
out.
pull that,
It-
because that's go to planning first.
Yeah, that was not
Oh, I'm
intended.
sorry.
Yeah, well,
I thought Becky gave it to me, but
Yeah.
Joe gave it
Yeah,
to me.
okay.
There's a
We
step.
never approved that DDA budget?
Not
No,
yet.
it's gotta be
They waited for you, Dave.
through planning and then proposed to council for
Yeah.
your acceptance.
Okay, citizens' comments or
No,
citizens,
go
they're
back
all
up to the
gone.
agenda items.
And council comments, any?
No, go back up to the upcoming agenda items.
What do we got?
What do you got?
I already- Go ahead.
I want to add the computer that I'd like to put on next agenda to donate to a nonprofit that I know can use it, rather than having it destroyed. All pertinent information will be removed. There is nobody's personal or there's no social security numbers, we don't take credit cards, so there's no credit card numbers in it. There's driver's license, nothing like that is in those computers. I've been kind of safeguarding this one for a long time, waiting for somebody that could use it. It's 10 years old, it's not of any significant value. But I know they could use it, and we'll put it on the next agenda, so if anybody else has a claim or a need that they feel that they should have it first. We'll still remove all the data, take the tax program off, which is public information anyway, but the program is licensed, so everything will be removed.
Very good, thank
We
you.
are also gonna have an executive session at the next meeting.
Next meeting here.
Any community events? None? Closed session announced already? Fitting and proper at this time for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn at 7:44.
Moved and supported, any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.